just quickly before we move on from the 36ers, they did get the one win. Now, they beat the Illawarra Hawks. We can get to them a bit later. They are struggling right now. But it was Trentyn Flowers, and we spoke about him on the first episode of this show.
Flowers.
And he has 18 points in the fourth quarter, and he just took open shots. He wasn't in the original role that perhaps they wanted to have him in, which is handling the ball a lot. And we spoke about this on the podcast, and I said, I don't care that they went through that trial period with that role. He's a teenager. He's trying to figure out where he fits in professional basketball. And maybe that at this point in his career, this is the perfect role for him. Let the veterans set you up, get yourselves in position, use your athleticism, use your skill set that you have, and you can have a major impact. So I just thought when you look at the next stars, they play under a lot of pressure. You see how much the league pumps them up. They do the smallest little thing, and it's all over social media repeatedly. And I get it. The league is pumping up the Next Stars program. They should be very proud of it. But I think it does put a lot of pressure on, and he's probably looking around the rest of the league, and he's seeing Alex Sarr, and he's seeing Alex Tui, and all these young guys getting it done and getting all the promo. I was just thrilled that he had a moment.
So, I don't know if I agree with you. The first thing you said, do you say that it was okay that they sort of went through that little trial of, let's see how it looks?
Why not? Because it's the preseason, and people were blowing up.
But they were behind the 8 ball, though.
But it doesn't matter. It's like 2 games of the Blitz, and everyone's acting like, I can't believe that you're trying this with a young kid to put him in a position. Like, it's 2 games of the Blitz. Why does it matter?
Yeah, but they look horrific because they're 1-4
Why
right now.
Why did they look horrific? It wasn't Trentyn Flowers, and it wasn't the fact that they said
it
2
was
Blitz
partly
games.
because Trentyn Flowers couldn't bring the ball up the floor.
Yeah, but they've got Mitch McCarron, they've got Jason Kidd, they've got Trey Kell, who wasn't playing in the Blitz, so part of it was circumstance. Now they've got the veterans there that can bring the ball up the floor. And as we'd already discussed, they've still got the worst offensive rating in the league. So I don't think that playing Trentyn Flowers in that position had any impact on their slow start to the season.
No, I think it kind of did. The Blitz is there so you can get meaningful reps. Try things.
With new teams. That's what it's there for.
Okay, so what if the Sydney Kings were like, we're going to play Jonah Bolden at the point? Let's try things. Like, no, like this kid was a wing.
You know.
Yeah, but this kid was a wing throughout all of high school and then came in and decided to be the point guard in a really tough league. Like, that was never going to work. And so...
And if they were still trying to do it in week 4,
I
would say okay. But they pulled the cord pretty quickly. That's why I didn't have a problem with it.
And I just think they're just behind a lot of other teams right now. And some other teams are far behind too. But I just think they're really far behind because they didn't get meaningful reps during the Blitz. And part of that is because Jamal Franklin was there and then they had to cut him and all that too. So there are mitigating circumstances here. But they didn't have to trial this kid at the point through 3 meaningful preseason games where they could have been getting reps with McCarron at the point. See how McCarron works with a sort of a healthy Isaac Humphries. See how that high-low with Wiley and Humphries works, where they just didn't have anything in place to get them going. And it seems a lot was revolved around trying to make this kid work as a point guard. So the rest of the team didn't have time to sort of develop itself. And now they're 1-4 on the brink of 1-6 with Vasiljevic coming in as the savior. And it just seems like the season might already be over, right? And I'm not saying it's because of that, but I'm saying that wasn't helpful. What was annoying was that there were little periods during that where Adelaide decided, all right, we're not going to have Trentyn bring the ball up. And he would go play on the wing. And I was sitting with NBA scouts in the Gold Coast, and they'd be talking about, look, okay, that's a good cut there. Like, that's a good read. As a secondary playmaker, he looks really cool. He's athletic. The shot has a little hitch, but like there's something in the shot. He's big, he's athletic. There is something there in him as this wing guy that I think everyone saw, but it just took a while for Adelaide to lean into it. Whether this continues, he had one good game, right? We're not gonna, and he shot the ball super well. He looked great. Whether he can guard at a high level, where he can do this consistently, we'll see. There's steps in the right direction. I just feel like we could have been here weeks ago if we didn't pretend that this kid was a point guard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that Adelaide's... I think like out of all the reasons why Adelaide maybe is at a slow start, including, by the way, a difficult schedule. They've played some of the better teams in the league. You talk about the import stuff. They haven't had a complete roster. I don't know whether that, honestly, has much of a bearing at all. I don't really buy
I think it was a
that.
factor.
Maybe a tiny factor to me. I don't think... But you're right. The point is that he's going to be going through roller coasters. So this doesn't mean that it's going to be happening all the time. You're not going to score 18 points in the fourth quarter and win. But while some of the other next stars have had moments, it was fun to see him have a moment and really visibly feel good about himself in a very important moment for this team.